Carly McFadden here with LP Gas Magazine. We have with us today Rebecca Boudreaux, President and CEO of Oberon Fuels, headquartered in California. Rebecca joined the company in 2011 as president, and she was promoted to CEO in September of 2020. She also received a PhD in polymer science and engineering from the University of Massachusetts Amherst. Rebecca sat down virtually with LP Gas to discuss dimethyl ether, also known as DME, its relationship to propane, and more.
So I brought some DME for you here. So the industry will be familiar with the propane molecule. As you'll notice, DME is very similar. So really what's different is in the middle, right? Instead of carbon with two hydrogens, you have an oxygen. And the reason I usually travel around with this DME molecule is not just because I'm a chemist and I like molecules, but it helps illustrate its properties. So being similar to propane, it actually handles very similar to propane, but it's made from different feedstocks. So you can make DME really from any methane source. So that could be food waste, landfill gas, animal manure. All of these are feedstocks to make DME. DME is important because we are looking at solutions to take the world as we look globally, really, how do we reduce our emissions? How do we deal with waste streams? How do we improve air quality? All these things we're trying to achieve. It's important for the world to recognize the tools that they have available. And renewable DME is one of those tools that not as many people are aware of. So you have the ability, as we talked about, some of these waste streams. So things are problematic that it create emissions if you let them decompose on their own. Take those emissions, convert it to this molecule, and then also help reduce a clean fuel for the transportation sector. That also creates an enormous amount of emissions. So as the world looks for solutions, DME is an excellent solution that can help us deal with our waste problem, air quality issues, and also while creating jobs and creating economic opportunity, particularly in rural communities. The propane industry is perfectly set up to be the infrastructure and the logistics partner for this molecule. So we like to say that, DME and propane, they're cousins, so they similar bloodlines, but they have their unique personalities. And the propane industry has an opportunity to leverage the existing infrastructure. The industry knows how to move, transport, dispense propane. And with little or no modifications, that infrastructure can be used to work with renewable DME. So there's the obvious blending with propane up to about 20% is what's generally accepted as the limit without major changes being required. But there's also the opportunity as renewable DME moves in, for example, as a hydrogen carrier. And so looking at zero emission mobility and looking for other sources of renewable hydrogen, the propane industry can be the ones to move renewable DME, store it, and be part of this industry as well. One of the things that's important is that renewable DME, it's happening now. So at Oberon Fuels, last year we received a $2.9 million grant from the California Energy Commission, and we'll be producing the first renewable DME in the US in 2021. So it's happening now. It's using waste streams to make the fuel, and then we'll be testing on the road with other partners, Roush Cleantech, SHV Energy, and PERC, on-road vehicle demonstrations of DME propane blends. So it's very exciting. It's happening now. And another important fact is that California Air Resources Board, or CARB, has indicated that if you take dairy manure and make DME, you have a carbon intensity of minus 278. So diesel, carbon intensity 95, gasoline 96, propane is around 83. So propane is already making those reductions, but by blending in DME, you can get with just a 20% blend based on energy content down to a carbon intensity of 11. So propane and DME, by working together, can provide a solution for carbon neutrality. Then you blend renewable propane, renewable DME, you can approach carbon neutrality. So great opportunities to work together as the propane industry develops multiple pathways to carbon neutrality.